Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how to shift realities instantly. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful here in Las Vegas. Today's video is inspired by two powerful sessions that I had yesterday, where both of these clients had questions on how to shift instantly, how to manifest instantly. And we really unpacked it in a whole different way yesterday. Remember, what really is happening with instant manifestation? Everything that you want and desire is happening right now. It happened, it's happening, and it will happen. Everything is about the simultaneity of all that is. So really what manifesting instantly or shifting instantly is widening or expanding your perception of what's already there. So we talked about this, and one of the things that was notable, especially with one of the clients, is that they were trying to feel better and think better thoughts about the reality that's no longer their choice, about the unwanted reality, the reality that they want to shift from. They're trying to feel better about it. They're trying to think better thoughts about it. And this whole idea that I touched on yesterday, that you want to focus on what you love. You want to connect with what you love, not what you lack. And then let everything that's not connected to you by that love to fall away. Instead of trying to perpetuate it and feel better about it or move it around or think better thoughts, just let everything that's not connected to you by that love, the love of what you want, to fall away. Then you do shift instantly. Then you do manifest instantly. You are now that identity. You're now in that reality that you love. So whatever you want, desire, focus on the love and the fulfillment of it versus the lack and separation from it. Hear it again. Focus on the love and fulfillment of it versus the lack and separation from it. That shifts you instantly, right? Instead of focusing on what you lack, focus on what you love. It's really relating to what we talked about yesterday. Remember, when you focus on what you lack, that narrows and limits your perception and experience of reality. So you can't see what you want to see. You can't experience what you want to experience. You can't see it. But when you focus on what you love, this is what I mean by shifting instantly, manifesting instantly. It expands and frees your perception and experience of reality. Now you're seeing more of all that is, more of all that you are, more of all that you love, right? The more you focus on being love than getting love, the more love you will see and experience. See, do you hear that? The more you focus on being love than getting love, the more love you will see and experience. It's law. So remember, I am is love. I am is the perfect perception and experience of reality, because I am awareness is reality. I am who you are is perfect love. It's that perfection of God. It's that perfect reality. It is the perfect perception experience of reality, because I am awareness is reality. The perfect love of the great I am. That's why Jesus said in Matthew 5:8, therefore you shall be perfect just as your Father in heaven is perfect. In other words, your perception might not be perfect, but who you really are is perfect, right? That imperfect perception is how you focus in on your experience of all that you are. That imperfect experience is perfect. It's a perfect experience of reality, of all that is. You see it, of the perfection that you are, right? In other words, you're utterly perfect. You're utterly worthy and fulfilled no matter what you think, feel, believe, and assume. All your assumptions, all your beliefs are so you can focus in on one aspect of all that you are, right? Not to limit yourself, but to see more of who you are, to know more of who you are, to know more identities, to expand your awareness of all that's already there. And so when you are focused on what you love versus what you have to do and who you have to be to get it, you align with the power that creates worlds flowing through you and as you. Hear it again. Now, I said this yesterday's video, but I want to hit it again. When you're focused on what you love versus on what you have to do and who you have to be to get it, you align with the power that creates worlds. It's flowing through you and as you. That's powerful, because when you focus on what you love, you are that love. So that natural ability, that power, that infinite intelligence, that self-aware intelligence works through you and as you. So to show you who you really are, more of who you really are. This is powerful. So when you need reality to be different than it is, when you need it to get something different than you have, or to be someone different than you are, when you are waiting for your life to change until you can be fulfilled, you're saying to God that you have better things to do, hear this, than allow the power that creates worlds to flow through you and as you. That you have greater things to be than all that is, than everything. That's what poverty consciousness really means. That's the definition of poverty consciousness. Hear it again. When you need reality to be different than it is, to get something different than you, when you need to get something different than you have, when you need to be someone different than you are, when you're waiting for your life to change until you can be fulfilled, well, you're saying to God that I have better things to do than allow the power that creates worlds flow through me and as me. That I have greater things to be than everything, than all that is, than I am. That's what poverty consciousness means, right? That's what we're really talking about. That's what Jesus meant in the Gospel of Thomas when he said, when you know yourselves, then you'll be known. And you'll realize that you're the children of the living source. What Jesus said to his apostles, when he asked them, but who do you say I am? And they answered, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God, the children of the living source, right? Remember, when Jesus asked that question, this was actually brought up by a client yesterday, and I thought it was a beautiful insight. When Jesus asked that question, but who do you say that I am? The question is, what are you identifying with as who you are? Are you identifying as Christ, the Son of the living God, all identities, all realities, and not attached to any of them, not needing any of them to feel the fulfillment that you are? Or are you attached to a certain outcome, a certain reality, a certain identity that limits your perception of reality, of all that you are? Right? So in other words, what and who you are identifying with and as. That's what Jesus is asking. And what and who are you identifying with? What are you identifying with and who are you identifying as? Right? Jesus is pointing to your true identity as all identities, as that multidimensional personality, that all identities, as the Son of God. But the Son of God as all identities, not through which you're focused in this 3D experience. One with the Son of God, right? It's only your attachment to any one identity and reality that creates the experience of separation, loss, and non-fulfillment. So it's okay to identify with realities, but from that greater identity. Realize, not be attached to it, and knowing that you're identifying as that I amness, as that awareness within which all these realities take place. When you're source, you don't have to be attached to anything because you're source. You don't have to be worried about losing anything because you're source. You can't possibly lose anything. You can't possibly need anything. It's all just taking place within you. That's what's going on here. So let's hit this a little bit more. You spend all your time trying to get what you want, fulfillment, and avoid what you don't want, non-fulfillment, right? We're trying to get that wanted reality and avoid unwanted realities, right? And that's why we feel triggered sometimes, right? Because we're trying to avoid those unwanted realities. We're trying to avoid non-fulfillment. And when you do that, you forget that you are fulfillment. You forget that you are all identities, all realities, right? It's not a journey to fulfillment. It's a journey of fulfillment. Do you hear the difference? It's a journey that fulfilled you, experiencing another aspect of all that you are, another perspective, another vantage point, another viewpoint. It continually unfolds from within you as you. All identities, all states, all realities, all self-concepts exist simultaneously within you, as well as the changing thoughts and feelings. They all exist within you. The question is, what are you identifying with? Are you believing that's your only identity? Are you believing that's you? It's never about giving up what you want and desire. We had that discussion with another client yesterday. You never have to give up anything. It's about not hanging on to your desires. It's about not hanging on to what you want. You don't have to hang on to it. So it's never about giving it up, but rather it's about not hanging on to it, not being attached to it, identifying with a reality, identifying with that desired identity, but knowing that you're greater than any one identity that you can experience. That's powerful. So it's not about ever giving up what you want and desire. Never the message. Rather, it's about not hanging on to any of it. Right? One of my clients actually sent me a picture of the whiteboard, the flip chart, from a session maybe a few years ago where I was talking about this idea. So this was great. So let's hit this a little bit more. Focus on what you love and let go of everything that's not connected to you by love. Do you see it? We spend our time trying to feel good, think better thoughts, feel better about realities that are no longer our choice. We try to prop up conditions and structures and realities that are falling away, that are no longer our choice. We're not connected to them by love, yet we attach to them, we hang on to them, trying to feel better about them, trying to think better thoughts, thinking we're focusing on our fulfillment, our wish fulfilled. Do you see it? So stop trying to think better thoughts and feel better about unwanted realities. In other words, realities and identities that are no longer your preference, right? States of being that are no longer your preference or choice, right? Stop trying to prop up and fix identities, realities, and conditions that are not your preference, that are not your choice. They don't need fixing. Nothing is broken in God's creation. They're not broken. You don't have to try to feel better or think better thoughts about them. There's nothing wrong with them. Simply let them fall away. You're no longer connected to them by the love of who you are. So you don't have to hang on to them. That's what attachment is when you try to hang on to them. Let them go, right? Remember with Lazarus, unbind him and let him go. Loose him, right? And let him go. Allow everything that's not connected to you by love. In other words, it's not connected to you by the assumption of your ideal identity and reality to fall away. It's falling away naturally, but we hang on to it. We keep it real. We make it real by going, I got to feel better about this. I got to think better thoughts, right? I got to do something with this. Do nothing with it. Allow everything that's not connected to you by love, by that assumption of your ideal identity, your ideal reality, to fall away. So let's just tie this up here. Stop trying to get what you want and to hang on to what you want. We're either trying to get what we want or hang on to what we want, right? We're worried about losing what we want, right? Stop trying to protect yourself from what you don't want. That's where those triggers come from, right? The whole idea of triggers. It's a reality that's no longer your preference, right? Stop trying to protect yourself from that. So you don't have to. You're not going to lose anything. It can't do anything. It has no power. It has no authority, right? You don't need to chase, get, or hang on to what you love. You hear this? You don't need to protect your heart from loss, preventing loss, or preventing from seeing the unwanted. You don't have to protect yourself from any of that. Rather, go all in on following your heart versus trying to protect your heart. Right? Go all in. This is really came up with a specific person conversation yesterday. Right? Focusing on what you love from an assumption of fulfillment. From I am. Make love of what you want, the assumption of fulfillment, as all potential identities your only reality. Then the unwanted realities, the realities that are no longer your preference, and the changing thoughts and feelings related to those unwanted realities fall away. They're still there. They're still part of you. They're still part of all that is. They're still part of God's creation. But you're no longer making them relevant. In other words, you're no longer making them reality. Right? You're indifferent to them. They're not what you want. They fall away as you focus on what you love. And when you do that, you shift instantly to your desired reality. You manifest instantly all that you want and desire. Do you see it? And it unfolds from within you instantly as you shift to what you want, because now you're focused on what you love, right? Stop trying to hang on to things. Stop worrying about losing things. Stop trying to deal with realities that are no longer your preference, right? You don't need to do anything with them. You don't need to protect your heart. You don't need to chase or get or anything. Just stand in that knowing of that new reality. Connect with what you love. And then everything else is added on to you. That's the kingdom of heaven. That's how to shift realities instantly. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. You might have noted that we're releasing some independent short videos. These are videos that are not connected with a long video. You're going to see those from time to time. So if you're looking for the video, the original video, it's not there. It's an independent short. We're doing a few of those now. I wanted to remind you that at the end of this month, well, it's coming quick, March 30th, 2024, we're going to have our third live stream, our third live event. Right here, we're going to broadcast from the studios of Be Something Wonderful on Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific Coast Standard Time. On March 30th, 2024, we're going to have our third live event broadcasting from the Be Something Wonderful studios on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. So if you're a member, tune in. If you're not, there's a link below. Also, thank you for being part of our Facebook group, The Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful. For joining us on our organization page at Facebook at Be Something Wonderful, Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, TikTok at Be Something Wonderful, and anywhere on social media at Tom Kearin or at Be Something Wonderful, you can find us. Creators with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude. This is Tom here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful on this beautiful Friday morning. Until next time, we'll see you soon.